I'm Burt with Stahls TV, here to show you today digital options for heat application. Now, a digital option is a multicolor, lightweight design that you can apply with just a standard heat press. Now, when applying films, vinyls, and even embroidery with their twill, the more colors you get into, the higher the cost. Also, the more it weighs. So today I'm going to show you on a multitude of different garments, different options that we can do to bring down cost and also show more colors in your designs. Let me show you how that's done. First two garments I'd like to show you today are the most common that's used in heat application. It's your cotton poly blends, or even the 100% cotton. We got two different types here, and it always happens with digital media. Do I go on a white shirt or a dark garment? And for that reason, we got two different ones for you today. This first one right here has got an opaque backing, allowing it to go on that dark garment where that darks doesn't come up and affects the ink. And for your whites, we actually have a clear see-through material that will go onto this garment as well. Now, notice too how we have these multiple colors in these designs on both of them, and the benefit to these digitals, as many colors as you need, it doesn't change the cost on it. Now, let's start ahead with this dark garment first, and let me show you the heat application for it. We're going to take our garment first, let's get it over our press. Make sure we got no seams sitting there. And first and foremost, we're going to do a quick 2-second press on your garment. We're going to preheat it. Want to make sure that moisture's out of there. And one thing I like to say with moisture, it's like staining a deck. You don't want to paint it the day after it rained. When that moisture's in there, it's going to pull up that paint. So same thing with heat application as well. We're going to take our first design here. Do it like a standard left chest. I'm going to bring the cover sheet back over again as well. And notice too how this white backing, it's still keeping that vibrancy in the color right from the get-go. Let's go ahead and bring the press down here. Press pops, we'll remove our cover sheet. As you see now, we got this full color effect on the left chest on a dark garment. And I'll show you how it's done also with the white as well. So with our white garment, exact same process with it. Now one thing I'm doing here on this garment is I'm threading it. And you can see how the back's laying off and we just have the front. And a big benefit to being able to thread a garment is notice how smooth this surface is. The back of it's not getting bunched up. That smooth surface is going to help us get a nice even heat application. So just like the one before, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the garment real quick. Now remember, we can do a clear media this time actually with this one. So when I get this on here, you can see when I have it off, the color's really not vibrant, where that opaque material was from the beginning. But after we put it onto the white garment, that white now acts as that opaque material and gives it the vibrancy and the color that we're looking for. It's just like the one before. We're going to go ahead and bring down the press and heat apply it. Now that the press is popped, this material is a little bit more of a colder peel, so what I want to do is actually take it off. And one thing I like to do to make it quick and easy is kind of put it upside down on a table real quick. That's much cooler than your heating area. I rub it on in there, making sure we're not feeling anything anymore. And now that's cool to the touch. I'm not feeling much heat off it anymore. So I'm able to go ahead and peel that right off. And you can see now on this white garment, we got full vibrancy coming up on a white garment. And that's how you can do these cotton poly tees. Next garment I'd like to show you are 100% polyesters that are especially red. One big thing that we see and a big scary issue in the heat printing market is those red polyesters migrating the dyes. So I got a material here today that actually helps block that dye migration. Now it's still a digital print just like the ones before that's made with the eco-solvent or solvent-based ink, but notice one big difference. It's the back side of this, kind of like an aluminum foil-like almost backing to it. It's going to block that red dye from coming through, keeping these vibrant and white background and keeping your inks just the same color as they were before. So let me show you how this is heat applied. And just like any other one we've been doing today, I'm going to thread this on over Make sure we got the nice flat heat printing surface. So we're going to take our cover sheet. Want to get that moisture out with a preheat. And a preheat doesn't have to be long, just a couple seconds just to get that moisture out real quick. We're going to go ahead and take this, put it right on our garment there. Once again, and one thing I always like to say too, notice we do have a carrier over this, but always use a cover sheet still. This material, we're going to do it for a quick few seconds. Something I like to call the peel and seal. Got that on there. Now we're going to finish it off with a quick 15 seconds just to seal it in place. When the press pops, we're going to take our cover sheet off. Now one thing I like you to notice with this one, if we didn't have this dye migration blocking material on here, this white would be pink. That red would probably still be red because it's red behind, but that blue would be purple. So you can see how the colors kept just like they were originally. Still vibrant, still a lot of pop, multicolor design on here. Next material I'm going to show you how to heat apply is a full color sublimated twill transfer. I'm going to go ahead and just like we've been doing today, I'm going to get this garment over. Now one thing we're going to do is we got buttons in the way here to do this left chest, so I'm going to use this to go ahead and raise the surface area here, and this can handle heat as well. So we got this little square here now on our left chest where we want to heat apply. Now notice how now these buttons are now hanging lower than that area right there. Your highest point is what's always going to get heat applied. Just going to put this twill on here. Now take a look at this sublimated twill. That's the actual twill that you see in embroidery. Nice thing is with this, if we did a design like this in embroidery, it would weigh a lot for a left chest. So now we're keeping the weight down. And even if you are an embroiderer, you can actually take a stitch and still stitch around this to give that full embroidery appeal. But even with just a heat press, you can still give that nice high class of twill with just a standard heat press. So let me show you how. So before we go ahead and apply this, though, we're going to do the preheat real quick. Let me get my cover sheet on there for you. So we got that down, a quick little preheat. And all this got down to is just this nice area got preheated. But that's all we need. This is where the application's coming. So we'll get that put on there. Go ahead and put the cover sheet on there. Because I added a pad to this application, it actually increases the pressure. So make sure before you heat apply, you turn down your pressure a little bit to adjust it to that space being taken up. We'll get this off there. Now you can see here, it's a polyester cotton. You got some a little bit of the moisture out. That's okay. Once it gets going again, give it about an hour. This is going to be gone after it moves for a little bit. But now if you look into our design here, that's still twill, full color, nice and lightweight, a good left chest. The last garment types I want to show you here are performance wear, commonly known as your poly spandex blend. A couple things with this. It needs low heat application on these ones, and also with that stretch, we need some heat transfers that have some stretchability but can still hold that color. Notice kind of like with the standard cotton and poly, I got an opaque backed one here that's got a white backing on it, and then also a clear one here that we can put onto the whites. Both these are going to stretch with it as well. Let me show you how these are applied. Now to start off with the smaller one here, notice that these performance wears kind of kid size. So we're trying to thread it over our heat press here. I'm not getting it. We're getting way too much stretch, which is going to ruin your garment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off our standard 16 by 20. And we're going to change it out for a smaller one. Now that we changed the platen, we can go ahead and thread over the smaller size poly spandex garment here. So get it on nice. Get that seam off there on the side. So now we got that nice smooth heating surface. Just like it too, we got to get that moisture out of there, so we're going to preheat the garment real quick. I always say a couple quick seconds. It doesn't take long to do that for you. Now we're going to take our opaque here. So notice here on this one, we we have that white backing. It's going to allow it to go onto this dark garment nicely. Just go ahead and set it on down. This opaque material is pretty quick. It's a 5 and 5. So we got it down to 5. Gonna wait there. It's a little hot right now, so we're gonna wait till this one's a little warm to the touch. And see, they were not getting any lifting, so we're good to get this first peel here. And notice even when I peeled that, how it was stretching with the garment nicely. So the last thing we got to do is just do another seal for a quick 5 seconds. I'm gonna peel that off, and she's good to go. And so notice here while I have it on this press, and look at how much I can stretch that, and it comes back. It's still holding its form. That's the nice part about this one, and we're still holding that nice vibrancy because it's on that opaque backing, giving that white, keeping these colors vibrant on it. So we'll go ahead and take this one off now, and we'll show you that clear material. Very similar as well to that opaque back stretch material. Same thing with this one. We're going to get it on this heat press, get those seams out of the way here. Just like before, we're going to get that moisture out of here real quick. We'll go ahead and take our transfer now. Add it up to where we want it. And notice too, like the one we did with the cotton and poly, when I lift it up there, kind of loses its vibrancy, but the white of your garment really helps those inks kind of pop, and you'll be able to see that here in a second when we're done with the application. So we're going to go ahead and pull the cover sheet over. Now where that opaque one was we call it a warm peel after that first 5 seconds, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's actually a hot peel, so once this thing pops, we're able to peel it immediately. I'm going to pull it over, that. So we're almost done. We just got to seal it to finish the application real quick. So we're going to do that. Cover sheet over when you're sealing. You don't want that adhesive getting up to your heating element. It's going to be another quick 5 seconds. And we're done. Now you can see how really that color from when we didn't have it on the garment is now really showing up well. And just like the one before, I mean, this, you can pull this as far as you want, and it's coming with the garment. And it's coming back in and looking nice. To recap on a review on digital transfers, one of the major things that we went over today was showing you the different types of media that can be printed on and the different garments that they can be applied to get that proper full vibrancy in your full color digital transfers. And not only the color vibrancy, but also showing you how these multi-color designs can be cost effective and even lightweight for you. I'm Burt with Stahls TV.